to our first segment of In the Community with Mayor Frank Moran. I am your Mayor, Frank Moran, honored to serve the great city of Camden and all its 77 plus thousand residents. We have wonderful people, and in the spirit of celebrating African American History Month, we have assembled four individuals that are near and dear to the city of Camden. But before we get into introducing and hearing from our guest, I want to talk about the contributions of individuals like Dr. Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, President Barack Obama, individuals that really stood for the right, for the opportunity, where you're going to hear from individuals that are with me today that are carrying that legacy through. And it is an honor for me to recognize the accomplishments of those great national leaders, but I think it was fitting that we get together with local leaders in their community that are making an impact. And what better to have these individuals that are near and dear to me and to the residents of the city of Camden. And we have a special panel today of individuals that are involved in coaching, dealing with senior programs, development and planning, and schools and extracurricular activities. So with me today we have Director Keith Walker, who is the Director of the Department of Public Works for the City of Camden. We have Michelle Banks-Spearman, who is the City Attorney here in the great city of Camden. We have Dr. Ed Williams, who is the Director of Development and Planning. And we have Cynthia Page, who is the Director of Senior Services in the City of Camden. And as I stated, we don't underscore the accomplishments of the great African American leaders that have come before all of us, but we felt that it was important to recognize those individuals that are carrying on the legacy. So we're going to have a conversation amongst the table here, and I want to talk to you. Tell me about yourself, and I'm going to start with Director Keith Walker. It is an honor to call you Director of the Department of Public Works. Tell me about yourself and where did you grow up?
Well, grew up in Camden. I've been here for 49 years. I lived in the same house for 49 years, in the same street, the same individuals around. Went to Camden High School, Pine Point, and Landing Square, all in Camden. Grew up with a single mother, single household. And my mother really instilled hard work and good ethics with me, and I carry those on until today. Just proud to be part of the movement of Camden, the redevelopment of Camden, and the growth of Camden. I'd like to thank Mayor Frank Moran for giving me the chance to do so.
Thank you, thank you. Ms. Page, I've known you for many years, and I've had the honor of working with you as an employee and a co-worker, and I'm honored to call you one of my employees, and you're doing great things. Could you talk to us about yourself and what you do for the city of Camden?
I'm born and raised in Camden, educated all my years in Camden City, raised by a single mother, oldest of five. I've had the privilege to work here for 31 years in the Department of Human Services for all 31. It's important to me to make sure seniors are given opportunities to do things. They're not sitting home being isolated in situations. So that's a passion for me, for servicing the seniors as well as homelessness. I started with homelessness. So now I'm with seniors services in the Department of Human Services.
Wonderful, and thank you. Michelle Banks-Spearman, tell us about yourself.
Sure. I am a lifelong resident of the city of Camden. I have lived in the Parkside neighborhood for all of my life. I attended, I'm a proud product of the Camden City Schools, having attended Parkside Elementary, Hatch Middle School, and Camden High School. I was blessed to be raised by a two-parent family. I was the youngest of five, and my parents instilled in me a love of education and and a respect for hard work.
Wonderful, thank you. And Dr. Williams, we've worked collectively for many years, and a lot of what's happening today in the great city of Camden is attributed to your hard work, your planning, and your skills. Talk to us about your past.
I'm a lifelong Camden resident, 56 years. working for the department for 32 years now, and I'm a product of Foggy Bottom, Wigan Square, Wigan School, Wigan Village, Camden High School, and went to school here at Rutgers, undergrad and graduate school, and proud to be working for the City of Camden.
That's wonderful. And we have 4 individuals that are unique in their own way, and I want to ask you, how did you get involved? Because it's not about your work that you do day in and day out, because we're honored to have you as great employees of the City of Camden, but what we want to highlight is your extracurricular activities. What are you doing in the community to better your community as African Americans in this community, and the importance of the legacy that was set by our leaders of the day, if you will. Michelle, talk to us about who inspired you, and what activities are you involved with once you leave City Hall?
I was inspired by my father, who was he's a retired truck driver, but he still had love for his community. He was very active with the YMCA. He was on the board of the YMCA. He was also part of the Wiseman Auxiliary, which helped to raise money and did other programs for the YMCA. And he brought me into that program to serve as a mentor to youth. I've always had a passion for Camden. I majored in government at Harvard. I became a lawyer, all because I wanted to use my talents toward helping to revitalize Camden. I was blessed to come to work for the city some 27 years ago. I've been in the law department, and I've had the opportunity to work on real estate matters, and I had the privilege of working with some dedicated people in Parkside to help found Parkside Business and Community in Partnership, a local neighborhood nonprofit development corporation, working to turn around Parkside. I also helped to found the Marching Panther Boosters, which is a nonprofit organization that supports the Camden High School marching band. My children participated in that band, also supported the Creative Arts Jazz Band, and supporting those activities are important to me because it gave those children opportunities for exposure and for scholarships, for college scholarships. So that's been very fulfilling.
It's wonderful, wonderful. Director Walker, I know the stories that we've had together in talking about the great talents that have come out of Whitman Park,
Yes.
The talents, athletic talents, if you will, from
Yes.
Camden High School and Woodrow Wilson High School.
Yes.
Talk to me about, I know you're very active in coaching and mentoring young men in the city of Camden. Talk to me about that.
Yes, I started coaching 25 years ago. The reason why I started, because I knew what I needed when I was younger, and it was present, but I wanted to give them what I was missing. So that's why I started coaching 25 years ago. I coached at Centerville Little League Baseball. I coached summer intramural basketball, and I coached football. I coached football at Camden High School, and I coach football presently at Whitman Park. The difference that I seen that it make me, as I've been coaching for so long, I see my hard work paying off. I see kids going to D1 colleges, D2 colleges, and then coming home, giving back to their community, raising their young families. We also have a player right from Camden. His name is Sean Chandler from Camden. He plays for the New York Giants right now. I had the privilege in coaching him. We have Stanley King, Trevon King. They're Wilson superstars right now. Trevon is over at Temple. Stanley, he hasn't made his decision yet, but he got it narrowed down to 2. I was just with him this weekend. They spoke at that sports bank for us. And also I coach on the side. I really train kids on the side that went to college, come home for summer break. I train them before they go back. Younger guys, I develop them so that way when they go to high school, they'll know how to play the game and understand the game. And then I'm involved afterwards because they just not dealing with football. We also deal with their personal life also. Some of our kids in Camden go home and don't eat.
Yeah, sure.
Sean Chandler's story, if anybody read Sean Chandler's story, he's in the NFL now, but he wasn't hungry some nights. Coaches would buy extra food. If they buy him 2 hot dogs, he'll save one and take one home to his sister because he wasn't sure if she was going to eat. So that's a story that's publicly known. That's why I'm telling it. But I just see that the difference is being made, and I'm the catalyst that will help change some kid's life and give them a better future and a prosperous future.
That is wonderful, and thank you for your service. Ms. Page, again, I know that your specialty was working with homeless and dealing with seniors. Talk to me about those services and the passion of giving back to your community.
Well, I was inspired by, and everybody laugh when I say this, Reverend J. Allen Limo.
How about that?
He hired me and he trained me
Yeah.
to work for municipal welfare, homeless, going to VOA, delivering checks, sitting down, going to the state, just on those levels, trying to get more funding available in Kansas City to assist homeless. And that's been 25 years ago. So yes, that's part of my passion, and I did learn, I think, from the greatest. And then Aletha Wright came along, and I've learned things towards in the city of Camden coming through at 20 years old. So they taught me the right way to do things. My mother is my best friend. She's a single parent. She worked 3 jobs to raise her girls, and all 5 girls are independent. You know, we work hard, we give back, we make sure people know that we're there, we're available to assist. You know, it's heartfelt when you help someone that can't help themselves. So that's a passion for me, and I try to put that into my son's future too. You have to give back. You have to give back, because if it wasn't for Mr. Williams, it wouldn't be Cynthia Page. So you look at that, and kids look at that and look at you and try to inspire what you do for them going forward. I'm just a firm believer, if you help one, they'll come back and show you what you put into them to go forward.
That's paying it forward. That's absolutely wonderful.
Absolutely.
And Dr. Williams, I know that you're a spiritual man. You are a reverend. Talk to us about your involvements in the city with the youth and the church and just your activities here.
Well, I want to honor the legacy of my parents, Edward and Muriel, who raised us the best way possible. They both worked multiple jobs, and watching my dad work and his work ethic was, for me, inspirational. He taught me to be honest, to give my word, and to work hard. My service began in church in 1975. This is my 40th year of ministry as an individual, and it's more about helping people improve themselves, however we can help them, not just I was taught by a wise man, never look down upon a man unless you're going to pick him up, and I live by that.
That's wonderful. I want to ask this last question, and this question is, in the spirit of African American History Month, what message would you have to that young African American male or female in the community of Camden with regards to who they are and the importance of who they are? Michelle, what message could you give to the youth?
My message would be to remember that you need to know your history, because you need to know where you've been so that you can form your future. Because if you don't know that you come from greatness, then you might believe all the negative things that you see in the media and internalize them. Whereas if you know the greatness of your ancestry, you can dream and you can envision, because sometimes they say that you can't be what you can't see. So that's why you need to know your history.
Wow, wonderful. That's a great message. Director Walker, what message would you have for that young African American male, African American female in the spirit of African American history?
I would say never give up. Never give up. Always strive for greatness. You're never going to get it in the first shot or the first try, but keep trying and trying. Just like I tell all my young folks, whatever you say to me at this point in time, you can be it, because you have enough time to change your future. And don't let anybody control your destiny. You control your own destiny. And don't be afraid to ask for help while doing it.
Oh, great message. Ms. Page, what message would you give to that young
My message would be
man?
to believe in yourself. Anything's possible if you believe in yourself first. You have mentors coming along, but if you know within your heart that you can make that decision and do the right thing, you can be whatever you want. Look at Barack.
President
yes.
Obama.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you so much. And we'll close it out with you, Dr. Williams. What would that message be to that young African American male or female out in our community of Camden?
Let no one tell you who you are. Find your purpose, secure it, and pursue it.
Wow. And with that, I want to say thank you to the Camden viewers that have tuned in to our first In the Community with Mayor Frank Moran. We will continue to bring you reports of the great things that are happening in the great city of Camden. We will continue to highlight during this African American History Month the accomplishments of the international and national contributors, but more importantly, the local contributors that are continuing to live on the legacy of Dr. King and our forefathers that really fought hard for the rights of this community and all communities. Because of their actions, I have the honor of being mayor as well, so I'm grateful. I thank you to all the viewers, and stay tuned to the next segment when we bring forth In the Community with Mayor Frank